In this video, we're going to learn a strategy that's going to help us solve equations that involve fractions. And that strategy is to start by multiplying both sides by the common denominator. So the first step is to figure out what is the common denominator. And it's okay if you pick a denominator that's larger than necessary, but we're going to, in this, always find that least common denominator. So here we have three denominators, 2, 5, and 4. And we just want to think of a number they all divide into evenly. And we should come up with 20 pretty easily. So our common denominator in this case is 20, which means we're going to multiply both sides by 20. Now we're going to take the time to write this out because it's going to help us not make mistakes. When we distribute this 20 here, we're going to write it by each of those fractions. So 20 times 1 over 20 plus 20 times x over 5 equals 20 times 3 over 4. By doing this, we can do some canceling that will make our work nice and neat. So 2 goes into 20 10 times. So we cross out our 2 and 20 and we're left with a 10. 5 goes into 20 4 times. And 4 goes into 20 5 times. So the whole point of multiplying by 20 was to cancel out every denominator. And now you'll see that we have 10, because 10 times 1 is 10, plus 4x. Here we multiplied 4 times x. And here we have 5 times 3 equals 15. And now we have a nice simple equation. We went from this equation with fractions down to this one. We can subtract 10, 4x equals 5, and we have our answer, x equals 5 over 4. Now this is easier than most of the problems you're going to have in this chapter, so let's try some harder ones. Same strategy. So here's our next problem. Again, we have a denominator of a 2 and a 5. We have no denominator over here, so we just need to see what does 2 and 5 both go in. So our common denominator is going to be 10. We're going to multiply both sides of our equation by 10. We know we're less likely to make mistakes if we take the time to write all of this out. So 10 times x plus 3 over 2 plus 10 times x plus 1 over 5 equals 10 times 1. Now we're ready to cancel. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 5 goes into 10 2 times. Nothing I need to do here. And now we're ready to multiply. When we multiply 5 times x plus 3, we have to distribute. So 5x plus 15. Here we take 2 times x plus 1, 2x plus 2. And over here, 10 times 1 is simply 10. Combine our like terms. 7x plus 17 equals 10. Subtract 17. 7x equals negative 7. And we have our answer, x equals negative 1. All right, let's try another one. Now in this one, we actually have 1, 2, 3 terms. We have a denominator here, 4, and a denominator here, 12. And since 4 goes into 12, our common denominator is 12. So we're going to take this times 12 and also this times 12. And I'm going to do the same as before and write 12 times each thing separately. So 12 times 3/4 x minus, I'm going to keep the minus out here, 12 times 2x plus 12 times 1. I do have a less than symbol, so I just keep writing the less than, and 12 times 7 over 12. Next, I do my canceling. 4 goes into 12 3 times, and here 12 goes into 12 1 time. So we're ready. 3 times 3, 9x, minus 12 times 2, 24x, plus 12 is less than 7. I subtract these two, negative 15x. I'm going to also subtract 12 in the same step. 7 minus 12 is negative 5. And now here we're going to divide by a negative number. Notice we're dividing by negative 15, which means we're going to switch our inequality from less than to greater than. My answer is 1/3. So just a note here that we switch the inequality when dividing by negative. All right, so let's take a look at another problem. So let's go down to this one here, because sometimes this looks confusing, but the book has some problems that look like this. It looks like we have a whole lot of terms, a 1/4, a 2x, a 1, and it looks real big. So let's start off, find our common denominator, which is clearly 4, 2, 4. It's just going to be 4, but we're not sure how many times to multiply by 4. So I'm going to recommend in a problem like this that we rewrite 1/4 2x plus 1 as 2x plus 1 all over 4. Because when we multiply here, we multiply our numerators, and there's no denominator on this, so it's 4 times 1. This next one can be written as x over 2. And our next one can be written as 3 times 3 minus x all over 4. So we multiplied our numerators, 3 times 3 minus x, and the only thing on the bottom is a 4. Now we just said our common denominator was 4, so I'm going to multiply every one of these by 4. So a 4 there, a 4 out here, and a 4 out here. And I'm ready to do my canceling. So the 4 is completely gone here. This 2 goes into this 4 and leaves a 2, and these 4's completely cancel. And so we're ready now to multiply out. Since my 4's canceled, I'm just left with a 1. I have 2x plus 1. Right here, 2 times x is 2x. And here I still need to distribute that 3, so 9 minus 3x. I get 4x plus 1 equal to 9 minus 3x. Let's see, I can add a 3x, so 7x plus 1 equals 9. Subtract the 1, 7x equals 8, and there's my answer. X equals 8 over 7.